Welcome. So today I wanted to explore some giant, massive trees. One in particular that is about 150 miles wide. Now, first of all, before we really begin, we need to agree on one common fact that's accepted even by science. What is the world's largest organism? And that would be the aspen tree, or some people call them quakies. But the aspen appears to be a bunch of single individual trees. You think you're looking at a forest of aspens, but what you don't realize at a first glance is that this is one organism. Everything is growing from one root system. And really you can tell in the fall when everything begins to turn different colors, and you'll see that organism will turn at the same time, and some of them are just miles and miles across, and they act in a unison. So what I have found in my little neck of the woods is that these mountains, to me, the idea of plate tectonics and the pushing of plates, well, that's what they say about the Rockies, that this plate pushed the Rockies up. But if that were the case, it would be like pushing a napkin from one direction. I mean, it would be uniform. It would be like waves in one direction. But that's not at all what we see here in the Rockies. I mean, it's very, very sporadic. And if there was pushing, well, then it came from all different directions. It certainly didn't come from one direction or two plates smashing against each other. So let's actually start out with this range right here. Now this is in northern Utah. This is called the Uintas. And the Uintas, they say, is an anomaly because it runs east and west. So, if the plate theory was correct, then this doesn't make sense. What was pushing on this mountain from both directions? But really, when we look at the pressure and the pattern that's been distributed, we don't see the pushing idea. The pushing theory doesn't make sense here because we have all kinds of ripples and so anyway, I'll jump right to it. I believe that this is like a quaky tree, where this would have been an organism that grew as one, that may have originated here in the center, where we have the highest mountain. I believe it's King's Peak. But in any case, it grew outwards, and it spread out like fingers, just like quaky trees do. And they just continue and continue. And I mean, many things in the plant kingdom do this. Even if you plant backyard mint, it will spread and spread, as any of you who have ever planted mint have discovered. And that's how the quaky operates, and that's how I believe this ancient tree operated. Now, the whole idea that they tell us that, nothing grows above the tree line, and that's what we have here with these Uintas, nothing grows above the tree line. Well, I think nothing grows above the tree line because this is essentially the core of the tree. This is the core, and of course, first it was a tree, then it was cut down, mined for its resources in an ancient time, where an enormous feat, of course. And then further, it was mined once it was petrified and hardened as rock. It's been further mined. And this is all quarry. All of this that we're seeing is quarry. This is... And it really looks like it. I don't even think it's a far stretch of the imagination, but when we look carefully, all of this has been quarried. And all these lakes are the result of that. And yeah, this is just the core of the tree, but you can see where an excavator has sat here and burrowed out all around, and it just continues, burrowed out all this. And there was so much, I mean, you know, they had more than they needed, obviously, because we still see a lot. But maybe the resources on the top part of the core were better. And but yeah, this is, in my personal opinion, an ancient tree, and this is about 150 miles across, pretty much Park City here, which is by Salt Lake, all the way into Colorado. Now, just to give a little example, let's look at some other ones around here. Could it have some other massive tree friends? So let's jump over here to Colorado, deep in the Rockies, and again we see a similar pattern. If the plates were pushing from either the west or the east, again we would have that ripple effect, but not a round ripple like a straight kind of a wave effect, but that's not at all what we see here. This resembles growth. And again, in Colorado we have the young Quakies all over, pines of course too, but you know, regular aspen trees are all over the place. So this is like the mother of aspens. I mean, these were the ancient aspens. And you see they're all connected. And of course, they've all been strip mined and quarried, and you can see the massive scale of quarrying. And we can jump up here, just above the Uintas here in Wyoming. We see another similar. This would have been one organism here. And the same thing, it's been quarried all throughout. And of course, the core of the tree is going to be the hardest, and very little vegetation will grow on the core of the tree, as we would see. Well, it's counter to the high elevation theory, because you know there are trees that grow in the high elevation. They're sporadic, and they're kind of bonsai, but it's because the soil is so hard. There's really no soil. At least down below, rocks and vegetation break off, and it begins to make for better soil, and vegetation can grow. And we see this similar pattern. But again, if we really come up here, higher up, we get an idea again of the different organisms. You know, these were acting in unison. And of course they've all been cut down and strip mined, and from what we see, or what we've been told, it's easy why we would believe their story until we look carefully. And this doesn't seem to be the result of volcanic activity, nor of plates pushing in one direction. No, this seems as if there is a center point and everything is growing outwards. And this one is really interesting. Again, an organism growing a root system, and always coring activity, of course. So that's it for now. I just wanted to make a little quick share. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Have a blessed day.